Hello, and let me introduce myself. I'm Sofia Samarina, and I'm a student at Bright Language Center. So today my purpose is to tell you about Leonardo da Vinci, and I will develop three main points. First is develop to Leonardo's masterpiece. The second will be about his interests. And the second is going to be about his interests and plans. And my presentation will last about 5 minutes. And after that, I'll be happy to answer to your questions. So let's start with my presentation. And first of all, Leonardo da Vinci was an incredible man, and many people consider that he is the greatest genius of all. And his greatest masterpiece, the Mona Lisa. But many people think that his real masterpiece is his notebooks. On the same page you have pictures of human anatomy, of flying machines, of diagrams explaining the movement of water. And then a lot of to-do lists. Things that Leonardo wrote down that he wanted to do, to investigate or to develop, then he had more free time. And I should mention that it's not easy to read his notes because he could write with both hands, and it's called mirror script because you need a mirror to read his notebooks. So let's turn to my second part. And also, I suppose that Leonardo also has incredible ideas, and he wanted to calculate the size of Milan and its suburbs. Also, he wanted to describe the jaw of a crocodile and construct glasses to see the moon larger. 100 of things. And his curiosity was never ending, and he wrote a lot. He covered more than 7,000 pages, and because of paper was expensive, he filled nearly every centimeter with his words and paintings. And he also wrote about geology, geography, architecture, maps and engineering. So that leads me to third part. And Leonardo was often unable to finish his projects. And I think it's because he was a perfectionist and he was just quite slow. And he left us about only 15 absolutely completed paintings. And maybe he couldn't finish his paintings because he just jumped around from one new idea to the next. But we know that his scientific drawings were so far ahead of their time. He had ideas about robots and helicopters that people will be able to make only hundreds of years later. But there are some things he thought up that we will never be able to make. And scientists, doctors and engineering are still examining his notes today. And even now we can still learn from Leonardo's notebooks. For example, at Stanford University, they are looking at his drawings of bird wings and trying to explain the movement of bird wings. And they think that one day we will make a mechanical bird that will be able to copy birds' flight perfectly. And from his notebooks you can see how open-minded Leonardo was. He was curious and patient about the world. He didn't separate art from science and engineering, and I think it's by being able to make connections across the world of art, science and technology. And I should mention that sometimes his ideas was mad, but by mixing fantasy and reality, we can came up with new investigations, with new technology, new art. And that brings me to the end of my presentation. Thanks for your attention. I will be happy to answer your questions.